Hi, it's Kimberly, founder of the Infinite Spark Collective. Yeah, I'm back. I told you, bonus reading for Monday. So, in the previous reading, Spirit and the Heart of the Divine Collective, as I always do on Mondays, I went through the information. Its cosmic ruler is the moon, its element is water, so it means about the emotions and the unseen realms of the psyche. So, we're talking about your conditioning, your belief system. We're talking about shifting moods and the process of spiritual incubation. So, we're talking shadow work, we're talking cognitive behavioral techniques, we're talking change of mindset, right? Change of belief systems. We're talking analyzing. We're talking anything related to that. Oh, my cards are all bent. Okay, so with the bonus reading, we're going to do the inner temple, because that's about within. And I'm going to pull a card at random from my emotional healing deck. So let's see what comes up. I hope you're all having a great day. Hope you've checked out my other two recent readings. I did one for Sunday. I did the Spirit and Heart of Divine Collective for earlier today. And here's your bonus reading. This card is part of the Soul Inquiry suit. And as I've said before, when I've read these cards, there's four suits. There's the Chamber suit, the Activation suit, the Soul Inquiry suit, and the Polarity suit. And let's just remind you what the Soul Inquiry is. These cards help you hear the whispers of your soul and get clear on how you can embody and act on them. Deeper than before. Could it be, thank you, universe, any more fitting for today to draw it for Monday? After all I just said, deeper than before. This is another opportunity for you as a journal prompt. It doesn't have to be done today. In the previous reading, Spirit and Heart of the Divine Collective, I told you a journal prompt. You don't have to do it all in one day, okay? If you want to, you can do one in the morning and one at night, or sometime during the week. And maybe stick with one and then try the other one next week. And if this doesn't end up resonating for you, that's okay. Take what you want and leave the rest. Go check out my older readings. Go check out the one from earlier today. Go check out Sundays yesterday. It doesn't matter the date that I did them on. Maybe they'll resonate with you some, at the point at where you are in your life right now. Deeper than before. Has your soul been scheduled to go deeper than before? This card was pulled because chances are it has been. If this card had been an astrological sign, it would have several planets in Scorpio. Sorry, if this card had been an astrological chart, it would have several planets in Scorpio. My moon is in Scorpio. Enough said. Um, it's the only sign I have in Scorpio, as far as I recall. Everything else is pretty much Capricorn and Aquarius, just because of when I was born. But full of depth, intensity, and passion, this card invites us to descend into the deepest expression of this life. It asks that we commit more fully to our own life. This could be a creative project or any other area of life. It could be to a relationship. Now, it does not say romantic relationship, so it could be any kind of relationship, okay? I'm hearing no. My guides are saying no, not a romantic relationship. There is familial, family relationship, something going on there that you need to devote more time to, okay? Or it could show up simply as a deep lesson for the soul. And this period is asking a lot of you. I know it sounds heavy, but it also will bring you many gifts. The rewards that you will reap outweigh the journey that you take. And at times you're going to doubt your ability to move through it, but it's at that very moment that what's falling away is being alchemized into something new. This isn't the time to skirt about the surface. It's time to dive deep. So don't pussyfoot around, okay? Do you understand what I'm saying? Many of you, and my guides are telling me this, many of you have been wanting to do the work. Wanting to do the work. Stop wanting. Do it. You don't have to take hours every day. You could do 15 minutes. And don't tell me you don't have 15 minutes. Trust me, I know you do. I used to make those excuses all the time. I don't have time. I'm going to tell you, we all got 24 hours in a day. 8 of it is usually spent sleeping. 8 of it is usually spent working if you work a regular normal job, okay? And that leaves 8 other hours for prepping meals and eating and doing laundry and all that stuff. You know, you don't have to like plan it out, but maybe, while you're having coffee in the morning, or maybe while you're doing a lot of laundry, instead of, you know, numbing yourself with watching TV. Hey, don't get me wrong, I watch a lot of streaming, but I always do it after I've done all my sort of business stuff. That includes doing the readings for you. I make time to meditate. I make time to journal. I make time to do all that. I do that in the morning, even before I even have coffee or whatever I'm having that day, protein shake, overnight oats, chia pudding, whatever. Um, you're capable. I know you are. If I can do it, you can do it. And I'm going to tell you, I haven't been employed for over a year, and I'm about to get into the self-employment program, and I have to be available between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. Monday to Friday. I'm still going to get up and do my stuff, even if that means getting up at 6 a.m. I don't necessarily think I'll be busy all those 6 hours. I could be wrong. I don't know yet. I don't know what the schedule is for this program that I'm in. But you can damn well be sure I'll be making time to look at myself, to spend time with Source, to do whatever, self care, whatever it is. If I'm capable of it, you're capable of it. I have faith in you. This isn't the time to bypass the lessons. This is time to explore the deepest, darkest depths. Like I said before, your conditioning from the time you were however long, your experiences that you know already taught you lessons, but you never took the time to really see what they really were. Now's the time. Your belief systems. What are you willing to give up, or shall I say, not give up, change? What are you willing to do? Ask yourself that question. And yes, it's going to come with fear because we all fear change. But you know what? Change is inevitable and it's just part of life. The world wouldn't turn without change. Okay? And no matter how small the effort, no matter how small the increment of whatever it is that you do, change is what has to happen. You want your life to change? You got to change your life. You got to change how you think. You've got to change how you do things. You've got to be willing. You've got to be willing to open up to that. If you want to play small, you don't belong here on this channel. Okay? No more of that. Okay? You hear what I'm saying. If you don't like it, then you're not ready. Okay? I hate to be blunt, but as a life coach, sometimes, I know I'm going to have to do this with my clients and I'm going to have to do it with you guys here on YouTube because I don't pull no punches, okay? I'm not going to be all light and fluffy and all that. No, 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 no. No, 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 and no. You heard me. Perhaps you find yourself in an initiatory period where things feel different than before, where you're doubting what you once knew, where you're doubting what you once knew for certain, for sure, and you're questioning it now. Perhaps life is asking you right now to look at that. One thing for sure is that if you say yes to the invitation, you won't be the same. You won't be the same person you were before, and that's a good thing. Change is imminent, and life is asking you, and life is trying to initiate you to do so. How are you being called to go all in? You know your soul is calling you to do this. Are you listening? Are you willing? Hey, I'm not asking you to get all, hyped up about it and say, damn it, I'm going to do it. This isn't all or nothing, okay? God knows I used to live that way. There is no such thing as all or nothing, right? But I'm sitting here doing what I love to do, which is help other people, okay? And I'll be honest, helping you helps myself. It keeps me accountable to my own stuff, okay? So now we're going to pull an emotional healing card. I'm going to see what the universe, universe, you got my back. What is it that they need to know today? Love the symbols on the back. To be honest, I've not used this deck before. Um, okay, this is an empowerment card. This is a mandala or a mandala. So have a good look at that. This is about empowerment. Now you can choose to meditate on this card. You can choose to meditate on the emotion image, the mandala. So this isn't necessarily so much about I guess healing, if you will. I'm just going through the cards to see if there is, or through the book here to see. And technically, this is an empowerment card. So let me go through what it talks about for meditating on the image here. The images on the back of the cards may be used as inner talismans or sources of psychic or emotional energy. Relax your body and your mind. Then concentrate on the whole image. Work from the outside in. Find peace in the center. Now the card has essentially 3 affirmations. It's an empowerment card about attractive. Okay. And this is, I guess you could say, about self-worth. Okay. I'm just seeing if in the emotional categories, was there anything there? And the affirmations here are, and you can choose one. I would suggest you only choose one. I have so much to give to anyone new I meet. I am a miraculous being, as we all are. I rejoice in my powers. I feed my self-worth with the knowledge of my infinite potential. And it being Monday, as I already told you, this is about all the inner stuff, the shadow work. My suggestion, because the one that stood out to me most was the self-worth one. And I have the feeling a number of you are struggling with two things here. Not accepting the powers and the gifts and the abilities that you have, whether that's spiritually or otherwise. And you have a hard time feeling worthy of yourself. I keep hearing too much, too much, too much. And this is something I've actually had to go through recently. People implying to me in some form or another that I'm too much. That's on them, not on me, because you know what? I know who I am and I know my worth. I don't let other people choose how I feel about myself. And I don't want you to do that either. Okay? I want you to take the next 72 hours. You can still watch the other readings I'm going to do this week or whatever, but I want you to take the next 72 hours. And I want you to figure out what makes you feel worthy of yourself. And if you have a hard time with that, then that means there's things, there's wounds, there's emotional wounds, there are possibly spiritual wounds or mental wounds that are holding you back from that. And as I go further along in developing videos and coaching you, I'm going to get into shadow work. I'm going to be writing ebooks that cover that. From Carl Jung, Jungian, Jungian perspective about the dark shadow and the golden shadow. You can go look it up. In fact, I'd recommend a book to you. Now, it is for beginners, but I didn't know about this. There's a book by Rohit Sahu, Rohit is the first name, Sahu, Shadow Work for Beginners, and he covers the dark and golden shadow. Okay? The dark shadow is usually the things that we tend to express when we're challenged, right? So anger, aggression, apathy, that kind of thing. And then there's the golden shadow, which is your creativity, your joy, your happiness, your self-worth. I would go look it up. This is where I will say AI can be your friend. It can give you sort of the brief description of it. I would also go and look. I recently, excuse me, while I just go online here and check. I just recently got a couple of books. The Shadow and the Soul, which is a Carl Jung based book about the dark and golden shadow. And then there's a couple of books that I got on Amazon as well. I got them on Kindle. Carl Jung on Shadow Work, Volume 1 and Volume 2. The Shadow and the Soul is basically quotes, a practical guide to Jung's philosophy. Okay? Is what it is. Um, and Sarah San Angelo wrote the other two. Um, Carl Jung on shadow work, practical exercises, and primary sources for healing and psychological wholeness. Volume 2 is the advanced practice. Active imagination, alchemy, the golden shadow, the self, and the deeper work of individualization, or being an individual, right? There is also a Carl Jung based shadow work journal for deep healing and guided prompts for emotional healing. It was written by Adeline Voss. Um, I got them all on Amazon. I would go check those out. I would also, if you can, if you're really into like psychology, because I am, all right, um, get the Red Book. That's Carl Jung. It's like his journals, right? Searching for the soul under postmodern conditions. And I would look into that. But I would definitely look into the shadow work. And the reason I'm bringing up the Golden Shadow is because every shadow work book I have looked at never covered it. And I always felt like there was something missing. Now, there is another book that is available. It's on Project 369. It's by David Kaznecki. Um, he's got something called the Soul Work Journal. He covers all the typical wounds like abandonment and self worth, self deprivation, all that kind of stuff. Plus, he also covers the dark and the golden shadow. On my community page, I believe I have linked that book in one of my posts and other ones that might be helpful. But I would suggest, if you need to, listen to this video again. And you're also welcome to make comments on the video on YouTube. And if you want me to give you the names of the books, then just ask. If this has resonated with you, if you have found it helpful, if you find any of my readings helpful, please feel free to comment. And don't be scared to share this channel with your friends. Okay? I'm Kimberly, the founder of the Infinite Spark Collective. Welcome to this nice little corner of the internet. See you soon.